Good morning, guys. Johnny Elias here, Power Up 365. So how are we doing this morning? It's Saturday morning. What a great morning to be up. What a great morning to be alive. What a great morning to put your life in perspective on what you really have going for you. It's such a great morning. Early birds singing, sun's coming up. Just beautiful, just beautiful. And you know, when you wake up with gratitude, when you wake up by being grateful, when you wake up and put everything in perspective, life's just great, man. Life's just great. You know, and it's easy to say, sometimes people, it's easy to say life is great, but it takes effort. It does take effort. Being happy all the time is not a reality. We understand that, right? We understand that. So as you work on anything in life, you got to work to wake up great. You got to work to wake up with gratitude. You got to work to listen to the birds, okay? So you got to work at that, because there are things all the time. There are things all the time that are amazing in your life. But we don't put life into perspective. I want to tell you, recently, you know, I've been sharing this whole Kilimanjaro trip with you guys, and the training and what I've been going through, and that every morning doing these 365 clips. And I do them in the morning because I feel great in the morning. But if you guys realized in the last few days, I haven't. I've been lacking in putting them up. And just to share the story with you, that things are not always going to go great. Things are not always going to go good. And you got to work through it. And for myself, in the last few days, it's really been tough. You know, there's some business deals that haven't gone my way. There's some debtors that haven't paid their accounts. There's some struggles that we're going through, but that's the process. You know, it's easy for me just to come up here and keep saying, I keep saying, if someone comes and tells you that everything's always going great in his life, I mean, you got to start questioning that. And if everything's always going great, then it's probably you're not pushing yourself. The only reason why the last week, the last 2 weeks, certain things have come to play, and the struggles, is because I've been pushing myself to play a bigger game. And when you play a bigger game, you get through struggles. And a lot of times, those things are not going to go your way until you get comfortable with them, until you master them, until you find the best system, the best procedure in order to gain that success. And the things that you used to struggle in the past are comfortable now. And when you play a bigger game, you start to get through other struggles. Now, what I took notice of myself was I started slacking on my discipline. I started slacking on the little things. For instance, I was feeling very down one day because I realized what I was eating. I was eating terrible. And the reason why I was eating was because of the bad things, or the things that were not going right in my life, in the business and all that. And so your mind starts going into what's wrong in my life. Your mind starts going into what's wrong in my life. And then you start focusing on that. And I mean, to the best of us, you start going down a path that is a negative path, and you start your small conditioning, eating wrong, not gymming, full out, getting out of perspective, getting out of your goals. What was happening then? Every single morning I have a ritual that I read my mission statement, vision statement, goals, processes. And I realized in 1 or 2 days I wasn't doing that. And when you don't do that, you start focusing on the things that are right in front of you. the problems that are right in front of you. But you don't realize that's the process. That's the process. You just got to get through that process. That's what you got to get through. Because that problem or that challenge that you're facing now is not the mission, it's not the vision, it's not the end goal, it's not the journey of life. It's the process that you have to go through. But you start losing perspective and you start focusing just on the challenge that is happening right in front of you. And then you start losing your way. Now this is the sad thing. It is easy. So let's not get into judgmental, because certain people get themselves into that place where a big challenge, a big problem is facing them. And those problems can be in your business, that things are not going your way, in your relationships, even something happens with your son, something happens with your wife, or something happens in your life that you say to yourself, it shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened to me. Why did it happen to me? You know, I'm doing all the right things. Why should those things happen to me? But they do. And I don't think they'll ever stop. I don't think we are perfect. And the one thing I've committed to as a life coach, as a success strategist, is to make that crystal clear. I don't believe I'm perfect. I'm far from perfect. And I bring that into all my messages because I want to share the journey. But what I do believe, there's greatness within us. I believe that we can overcome it. I believe that we have what we need in us, that we're born with, to overcome those challenges. But we will screw up, because if I don't embrace the screw ups with the success, I don't believe that is aligned. I believe that is fake. And I find it sometimes all these success strategists and these coaches and these people who write books and that, they tell you the one side of their life. It's easy to show the good side of your life, the success side of your life. Reality is, doesn't always work. The best of thing, the other day they were speaking to Tony Robbins and he was saying, so how do you always so positive and all that? He says, I'm not always positive. Things also go bad. I also get upset. I also get that. But what I do is, I wake up each morning with a ritual. And I take control of my emotions. I can take control of my mind. I get myself to do things. And then he also said something that people don't get. I do events, Tony Robbins was saying, I do events continuously. All the time I do events. Great events. So, and in those events, Power Within, Business Mastery, Date with Destiny, those are all his events. Now, if you keep doing those events, you have to be in peak performance. You have to be conditioned. The mere fact that his job is to be in those events, positive thinking, embracing people, doing what I love, because that's his passion. When he's on stage, when he's serving, that's it. I can relate to that. This week I did a one-day seminar, and I was coaching some CEOs of a multinational company this week, and I really felt great being part of that boardroom and coaching. Tomorrow I'm doing a power-up session in Joburg. I can't wait, because that is what I was born to do. That is what I'm alive. When I'm on there, everything else is second, because I just want to serve those people that are there. So what I'm trying to tell you is, you've got to live intentionally. Things don't happen. There are going to be bad days, and I don't care. I mean, this week I was going through, or the last week I was going through some stuff that I had to work through. I had to come back fighting. It's not to say that those challenges are not over, but I had to make an effort to come this morning and be positive in the sense of my mindset. And I'm happier, I'm grateful. I'm looking at this day, look at the sky, look at the trees, where I am. I came home last night to my family and I said, thank you God for my family, for my wife, for my son. I have such an amazing life. And when I started tapping into all the great things in my life, my power started coming back. My rituals started coming back. Started saying to myself, Johnny, this is unacceptable that you're not eating right, that you've got 20 days until Kilimanjaro. Get your ass back on track. Now, that in the last 7 days, I've been fighting through some bad challenges that have come my way and what's going to happen and that. But I realized two things. And these things is, you can sit and cry and mope and complain and blame, or you can become bigger than the challenge that you are facing and you can conquer it. Because the truth is, the sun will come up tomorrow and whatever you're facing will never break you. It will never break you. It just can't. You can overcome anything that the world places in front of you. And I then had to get over that. And I'm using myself as this example because some of you might think, but Johnny, you're never down. You read 4 books a day. You do every single day. You do videos. You do motivational stuff. How is this happening? No, it does happen. It does happen. And I'm sharing that with you. So when it does happen, get into purpose, get into perspective, get back into, yesterday, reading books, 2 hours of reading books. Yesterday, I did some Jim Rohn stuff. Okay, I did some Jim Rohn stuff. I did some Tony Robbins stuff. I made intentional to, hey, Johnny, this is unacceptable. Get out of this. And today I'm on top of the world. The last 2 days on top of the world. I'm not saying that I didn't perform good in those days, but I felt that I wasn't my best. I wasn't showing up in my best. And that can happen to anybody. And now let me tell you the scary thing. It can happen to you for 1 day, it can happen to you for 2 days, it can happen to you for 7 days. But you better be careful because the 7 days mustn't turn to 14 days. The 14 days mustn't turn to 20 days. 20 days mustn't turn to a month. A month mustn't turn to 2 months. Because then you've been conditioned. You've been conditioned on a negative cycle. And the longer that cycle takes, the more difficult it is to get out. The longer that cycle takes, because then you start being conditioned. And there is science about this. You start conditioning. There's certain, I don't remember the word, but there's certain things in your mind, in your brain, that you start repeating certain negative thoughts. You start repeating certain negative actions. Then it becomes a way of who you are. Now the great thing is, as you condition yourself to negative stuff, you can condition yourself to positive stuff. Those are always available. But I wanted to share this story to you. It might not, it's a real story, and I'm never here to be someone I'm not. I want to inspire you, and I want to push you, and I want to encourage you to take your life to the greatness that you deserve, the happiness that you deserve, the love that you deserve, the money that you deserve, and that I'm excited to do that with you. I'm excited to push you that way. I'm excited to take this journey with you. I'm excited to see you tomorrow in Joburg at a power-up session or in Bloemfontein. I'm excited for you to take you and your business somewhere. I'm excited for that. But I'm not going to be someone I'm not. And I don't expect you to be someone you're not. Because you can't change your reality unless you face your reality. So, guys, whatever cycle you are in, make sure that 99% of the time you're on an empowering condition cycle. You're constantly empowering yourself for greatness, constantly tapping into your greatness, constantly know there's a great life in you. There's greatness, there's happiness, there's love, there's everything that's great is in you. But you got to live intentionally. You got to make sure that you wake up and go over your purpose, your mission, your vision. Because if you do not know exactly where you're going in life, life's going to condition you a negative way. And if you do that too long, you'll find yourself months and years and you'll say, how did I get here? How did I get here? This is not the life I wanted. So go out there today and make great things happen. So guys, live with greatness, live with passion, and go out there and set yourself up for great success into positive conditioning. Have an outstanding life. Cheers guys. See you later. Bye. Johnny Liotta's Power Up 365, and I'll see you at the top.